Please join me now in singing the gospel acclamation as we prepare our hearts and minds to listen to the Holy Gospel.
The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Glory to the Lord. Once when Jesus was praying in solitude and the disciples were with him, he asked them, "Who do the crowds say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others, one of the ancient prophets has arisen." Then he said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said in reply, "The Christ of God." He rebuked them and directed them not to tell this to anyone. He said, "The Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised." Then he said to all, "If anyone wishes to come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
When I was in the diaconate formation program, this gospel passage truly intrigued me. I would attend presentations, classes, speeches, and even panel discussions to talk about, who do you say I am? This question and the passage of "Let the children come to me" are my favorites. During one spring enrichment session, I attended 7 different presentations on who do you say that I am. For every presenter, Jesus represented somebody different, and the presentations were geared that way. Most said he was their friend, but much, much more. Today, that verse still intrigues me as I build a stronger relationship with Christ and hopefully a stronger relationship with God's people. But you didn't come here today to hear about my favorite verse. You hopefully came today to be community and to be challenged in the week ahead to be more like Christ. Well, you always fulfill the role of community by your generosity to the poor and your support to the issues and the injustices that St. Michael's brings forth and supports, and you gladly jump in with them. You do your job most awesomely. Now, I'll try to provide the challenge. This weekend, we celebrate Father's Day. Being a father in itself is a challenge. Being a father challenges us to be a role model. That is my focus today, a challenge to be a role model. Every one of us faces the challenges of being a role model. Women, men, teens, and children can all be role models as they face the challenges every day in some manner. So today, my challenge to you is to answer the question when you look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do I say I am? And after you answer that question, ask another question and answer it. Is that really who I am in my words and in my actions? Your answer may lead you to challenges needed to change your life. One way to help with the challenge is by performing what they call the examen each night when you go to bed. You simply answer 2 questions about the day that you just had. The first question, when was I Christ to someone? And of course the second question, when wasn't I Christ to someone? We certainly are faced with the opportunities to be Christ to someone each day in our lives. Questions like we ask, how did we handle traffic tie-ups? Or when someone did not immediately recognize the green light in front of you. We may have the opportunity in choosing a movie we watch, while we choose to be part of gossip or not. Children and teens may face the challenge of, how did I treat the outsider, the different one? Did I respect elders and offer help when needed? This little exercise each night may help you become a better role model for the next day. While on vacation, I asked my grandkids, what are the traits of a good role model that your parents may have? Most common answer was teacher, one who was fair and loving. I wish as a child I had learned much more from my dad about fixing cars and beating the fear of heights. But I wish, probably mostly, that I could predict the future like he did. When I was dating my wife Pat, I owned a Chevrolet Corvair. So you can imagine how far back this story goes. Well, Pat was in nursing school at the time, and she was doing a rotation at Lakeville Children's Hospital, about 30 minutes from Fall River. Of course, being young and in love, I couldn't go a week without seeing her. I asked my dad if I could go up to see her, and he said no, he didn't think my car could make that trip. Well, my dad worked the second shift, 3 to 11, so hey, if I go up, get back by 10, who's going to know? Because my dad, I had to be home by 10 even though he worked till 11 because my dad had the habit of checking the hood on the car to see if they were warm. So I had already known that trick. Off I went. I saw Pat, got ready to leave about 9:30, keys in the car, turned the ignition, whoo, starts right up, like a charm. The engine did it, but then I released the brake. Yes, for the young ones, we had emergency brakes back then that we actually used. And I put the clutch in, let it out slowly, 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 all the way up, and then the car didn't move. So I must put it in, I got to put it in gear. So I do it again. The car didn't move. So you know the rest of the story. I had to call my dad, and my dad drove up and picked me up after work. Well, I got to have a really nice conversation with my dad. And again the next morning when he came back to fix the car. Best hour of my life with my dad. Sure wish I learned more about fixing cars because he fixed it with a pair of lock pliers. But the lesson of this story isn't about fixing cars. It's about the love that my dad had for his family and friends around him. A love of helping and supporting the people that needed it, and he extended this to his friends beyond, as he always would, be there to offer his help. In one of his best-selling books, author, philosopher, and motivational speaker, Dr. Wayne Dyer, wrote a chapter on what he calls spiritual love. He says that the center of a purposeful relationship is love. But it is more than simply saying, I love you. Love is giving, and it has nothing to do with what you get back. Love is a process you bring to a relationship that has love in the giving sense as its cornerstone. He continues to say that love is the most important thing in life. Surely it is love when you love someone because the person loves you back. But this is not the giving love that Dr. Dyer is speaking about. He explains that love is the extraordinary feeling of affection without receiving anything in return. You may be smart and pass all your exams. You may have great success at work, or you may even be a fantastic cook. But if you do not have this sensitivity, this simple feeling of love, your heart will feel the void, and you will continuously seek things to fill it. Back to dads for a moment. But moms, and really everyone out here, should be interested in the following information. In a recent study, it was found that a family, a mom, a dad, and children who attended Mass regularly together, that 72% of those children will attend Mass regularly as adults. If children attend Mass with their mothers only, the percentage drops to 15%. And if the children attend Mass with their father only, the number jumps back up to 55% that will attend Mass regularly as adults. And if both parents attend Mass regularly or irregularly, like Easter and Christmas, the chances of their children attending church regularly drops to 6%. Dads have a great impact on the relationship of their children and God. That's not to say there can't be exceptions. Please, moms, keep coming to church. Have you ever heard or said to your children, I said it once, I said it 100 times, but you just don't get it? That's because we and our children react to what we see better than what we hear. So if we tell our children they must build a solid relationship with Jesus, but then take the summer off of church, or because we have nicer weather or have the Super Bowl, we don't come to church, then that's what our children learn. Attending church sporadically is okay. The group called the Black Eyed Peas made a song called Where is the Love? Well, let the love begin and grow right here, every weekend at Mass, together as a family. In closing, I challenge you to one more thing. I ask you to look around to friends and neighbors and parents that are not here today. I ask you to ask them to listen to this homily on the website. They don't have to like it. They can even put that sign, whatever it is, thumbs down on the Facebook site. But they should listen to it. And if they don't want to listen to me, then they can go and Google it, the importance of parents attending Mass. Many people ask where our young people are. Well, let Dad bring them to church as a family unit, and we may see more of them in their later teen years and 20s and 30s. Dads, moms, children, be a role model.